Alright, so this pant taper is an excellent example of the cheat sheet system that I've come up with for the fractions that would otherwise be 16ths. So on this pant, the lengths are here, and there's the widths, and 3/8 would ordinarily be some division of 16ths. But on our rulers, we don't have a lot of very specific 16ths. So what I've come up with is, 3/8. Another trick we can do is to take a measuring tape and fold it so the starting point ends at the 3/8 here, and then it will create a crease. And this crease is right here, and it's in between the 1/8 and the 1/4 mark. So to make this simple, I write down 1/4 with a down arrow. That means it is in between the 1/8 and the 1/4 position. So it will be right here. And this also works for the next measurement, which is, well, 1/2 inch is easy, that's 1/4, and that's pretty simple. But for 5/8, we'll do the same trick, and you can either fold it this way or this way as your trick here. And this one is creasing right above the 1/4 mark. So for this one, I wrote down 1/4 with an up arrow. This means that it's in between the 1/4 mark and the 3/8 mark. And this way we can avoid having to deal with dividing and figuring out how many 16ths that is, and they're not really on this measuring tape. So in this way we can simplify it. When we're marking these on the pant, it will look something like this. On this pant as well, I marked down this top measurement here is one that I added since the beginning pin starts here, which is roughly about around the knee. So in order to taper it to 0, this is now the 0 point, which I added a little note for since I always forget to add a column for it. And to mark this down, the first one is 1/4 with a down arrow. So on the ruler, hope you can see that. You can see the stitch line right in between there. So it's just barely under 1/4. And in this way, we can mark more in-depth alterations rather than trying to figure out 16ths, which saves a lot of effort on my brain. And it works the same way with 3/4 as well. 3/4 with 5/8. So we're dividing 5/8 on this one, and that equals 1/4 with an up arrow. So here's what a 1/4 would look like, and then we just shift it up ever so slightly so that stitch line is in between the 1/4 and the 3/8. And on this seamstress procedures sheet, there is a cheat sheet there with some of these divisions already figured out for you, so you can check it anytime you want. And you don't always have to make every single fraction that can divide like this into an up or a down arrow into these 16ths. Most of the time we can usually smooth it out, but since this one is very close and that it's very gradual and it's only on this lower part of the pant leg, I've decided to go ahead and go through with them. So use your own judgment on this, but it's very helpful to not have to figure out 16ths.